to this season's Zalando Sustainability Award Winners Ceremony here at Copenhagen Fashion Week. My name is Claire Press, and I am the presenter of the Wardrobe Crisis podcast, all about sustainable fashion. I'm also a member of the Sustainability Advisory Board of Copenhagen Fashion Week. And I've been working with Zalando on sustainability education for creators and influencers. And I'm just delighted to be here with you today for this incredible event. It's been so fantastic to watch the nominees. And I'm sure you'll agree that M-Works, Ray-Ban, and Ranra are all very, very worthy finalists. So best of luck to you all. This afternoon, as you know, the new winner of the Zalando Sustainability Award will be announced. This is a significant opportunity for a brand that is really innovating and pushing design forwards when it comes to more sustainable alternatives for our industry. Copenhagen Fashion Week CEO Cecilia Torsmark is here, and we will be speaking with members of the jury to find out how they worked on the process of selecting a very difficult thing to do. We'll also be hearing from Joanna Hummel, who is Zalando's General Manager, Northern Europe, who'll be telling us more about what lies in store for our winners. Finally, following the, whoa, that's a sound thing. Finally, following really, the announcement of our winner, there'll be an opportunity to hear from them all. I've followed this award since its founding in 2020, and it's been amazing to see participation from so many brands that are really leading our industry forwards. And also to see what Copenhagen Fashion Week does to support that. I think it's phenomenal, and it's really not normal. I mean, if you think about all the fashion weeks, this one, I think, is leading the way. This season marks the 4th edition of the award, and it's so exciting to see its evolution as our industry pushes forwards. The winning brand will be awarded €20,000 and will collaborate with Zalando to create an exclusive capsule collection. From Zalando's perspective, this is really about supporting innovative design and inspiring more sustainable approaches across our industry. As mentioned, we'll shortly be hearing from the jury members, but first let's take a look at what you saw from the shows this week. More rounds of applause. A huge congratulations to all the finalists. I don't know how you choose. Someone's got to win, but just by virtue of being here, you have just wowed us with all of your incredible collections, so thank you. But we do want to hear a little bit about how you do it and how the jury put together their decisions. So I would love to introduce to the stage Cecilia Torsmark, CEO of Copenhagen Fashion Week, Emily Chan, Sustainability Editor of British Vogue, Dio Kurosawa, Sustainability Consultant and Advisor, and Arizona Muse, Sustainability Wow Wonder, Environmental activist and also a sustainability consultant. Welcome. Do you want to, Cecilia, start by just tell us briefly about the collaboration with Zalando? How does the partnership work?
Well, I think, is this working? Yes. No, so first of all, as you also said, we're now in the second year of our partnership, and what brought us together when we initiated the dialogue a little bit more than 2 years ago was, I think we had both realized that we were quite in a similar position. We were both very big platforms, and as we all know, big platforms have both challenges, but we also have opportunities. And one of the opportunities that we spotted that we had in common was that, you know, we have the potential to inspire and to drive change. We also have a moral obligation to do so. So I guess we kind of figured that instead of just going on, you know, parallel tracks, if we pulled resources and did this partnership together, then we could make some things happen, such as the Sustainability Award, which I think is important for many reasons, but also one of the reasons being that we all know that being on this sustainability journey is not an easy task, and it doesn't come for free either. So giving the winner the chance to get some financial support and also some knowledge and insights into innovation that Zalando can provide was a great opportunity.
Absolutely. I love that Copenhagen Fashion Week has these 18 sustainability criteria, really challenging brands to meet them and do more than the rest of the industry is doing. But what are your personal favorites? Can you have favorites? Which ones are kind of, what are you obsessed with seeing people do?
I think maybe the jury can agree, or I don't know, but I think you hear me say a lot like the word holistic, and yes, you all nod your heads. But it's because, I mean, of course we should celebrate every little action, but I think we should celebrate that, you know, when brands achieve getting sustainability holistically as a part of their entire business. So not just looking at innovative materials, even though that's also highly important, but going from strategy to design, materials, consumer engagement, you know, how can we educate the consumer? And of course also how to put on a more responsibly produced show. So the word holistic is also, like, I guess, a very diplomatic way of saying that I can't pick one. Yeah.
Oh, everything. Thank you. Do you want to pass the mic to Emily? That word sustainability, it's really tricky and slippery to pin down. What's your take on it?
I'm similar to Cecilia in that I think it's really about a 360-degree approach. So it's about, you know, using lower impact materials, but it's also thinking about how the clothes are manufactured, you know, thinking about the social aspect, so whether workers are paid a fair wage, for example, and also thinking about the end of life of garments, so whether they can be sold on or recycled, or whether they can biodegrade, for example, without harming the planet. So it's, really taking all these things into consideration.
Do you want to tell us really briefly a bit about the judging process, and then maybe share what stood out for you with each of the finalists?
Yeah, so we had certain criteria that we were looking at all the designers on, and those included things like innovation, transparency, kind of ambition levels as well. I think for me personally, what really stood out was the amount of innovation on display, so things like you know, lower impact dyeing techniques and zero waste manufacturing methods. There's also a growing conversation around purpose and adaptability, so, you know, how clothes can be worn in different ways, as well as circularity as well, which is obviously really important.
I love that some of those things are typically behind the scenes, and you might not know when you look first at a garment that it's been dyed or cut or treated in this way before you get it. Dio, you're an expert who's been working in this space for a long time. I wanted to ask you if you learned anything new from this process.
I learn something new every time we get a chance to come together. There's a different perspectives always coming to the fore. We all represent different parts of the industry. So I'm learning constantly, but I think this season I learned a lot from the brands as well.
Did you?
Typically from the materials that were used. I'm super impressed. I don't want to give anything away, but super impressed by the variety of materials, because it's not something that's typical, even, let's say, in a regular fashion show. So I think that we're currently seeing something that rivals a regular show from a sustainable or, let's say, responsible angle. That feels like it's one-to-one now. And I'd really like to see the progression from where we were to where we are today is, to me, light speed.
These are all independent brands that are pushing the envelope, but from a space of not potentially having giant budgets. What else do you think are some of the challenges that are facing sustainable brands that really want to try to do more?
Disrupt, dismantle. Look at your supply chain from an opportunity perspective. Look at your situation from an opportunity, because if you're facing a challenge, someone else is probably facing that challenge as well, or maybe a brand. Look at different ways to get to the goal. That may not be the typical, but look at different ways that may get you where you need to go that isn't established yet.
Disrupt, dismantle? Okay, what is your kind of kernel of wisdom advice for maybe people who are watching and want to get involved in this award in the future, as well as the brands here today?
Well, there's a lot of solutions out there. Access to those solutions is not necessarily so easy, but empathy goes a long way, from supplier perspective, from retailer perspective, brand perspective. We're all in this together. At the end of the day, we all have the challenge of CO2 reduction, standing together, sharing ideas, open source. Looking at Creators of Creator Gold certification, those types of things that you can grab onto and share knowledge. I think that's the first step.
Fantastic. Could you pass the mic to Arizona? What I love about this space is that we talk about empathy, we talk about disruption. This wasn't actually how fashion used to operate. Arizona, you've watched this award evolve since it began. What qualities do you see in the nominees today?
I see that they all share a deep desire to change the world, which is amazing for fashion brands. Like, again, referencing a few years ago in fashion, that would have never been the case. No one set out to change the world in fashion, but now we do, because we're in a climate crisis, because we work with materials. We recognize that our businesses have a direct impact on the raw material supply chain. So farmers and miners, we touch them as the fashion industry because we buy their materials to put in our clothes, to put on our zippers and on our bags and everything like that. So that's what I see in common. All of these amazing designers are out here to make the world a better place.
What qualities do you think it takes to push innovation and do things differently? Because it's hardly an easy road, even though we're all excited about it.
Partnership, working together, recognizing that competition isn't going to serve the greater good. So how can we share, open source, appreciate each other, be empathetic? I think that's what the new wave of fashion is about.
Thank you. And do you want to share a parting word of advice, since I asked Dio too?
Parting word of advice? She surprised me.
I did. I was like, you didn't talk enough. Talk more.
Inside every one of us, there is an activist. I know that because I did not grow up thinking I was an activist. I grew up very shy and completely unaware that I had this need to speak to people. And it grew and grew and grew as I educated myself. So I invite everyone, find your own inner activist and let that activist come out, because we need every single one of us to become activists.
I'm so glad I asked. Thank you, Cecilia, Emily, Dio, and Arizona. It's always so good to hear about the process behind the scenes. I'm going to just hold that here. When we're dealing with, actually I'm going to pass it here. When we're dealing with something as complex as sustainability, it really helps for us to share knowledge. The judges mentioned open source and a spirit of collaboration. And for you to understand just how much depth goes into the judging process of something like this. It's not like pick it out of a hat. This is a very deep process with a whole panel of experts that are really trying to dig into what makes these brands more sustainable. And I reckon it was almost impossible to choose because of their incredible brilliance. But one person we have yet to hear from is Joanna Hummel, who has played a crucial part in the development of this award since its inception. So I'd love to welcome Joanna to the stage, Zalando's General Manager of Northern Europe, to announce this season's winner.
Thanks, Claire, and also thanks to the jury. I'm so excited about being here in Copenhagen this week, and what a week we have had. I'm also, I must say, blown away by the finalist shows. A huge congratulations to the three of you. And I mean, you're in number, you're more than three, but 3 brands. And we at Zalando, we are of course very proud of the partnership that we have together with the Copenhagen Fashion Week. And I'm very happy to be here today and having the opportunity to announce the 4th winner of Zalando Sustainability Award. And the winner of this season is Ranra.
Congratulations. How are you feeling? Congratulations, Adam, Johnson, and Luke Stevens. That was easy. Yeah. Co-founders of Ranra. How do you feel?
Yeah, a little bit shocked because we're still awake since yesterday, basically, since doing the show. But yeah, it feels really good.
Step forwards.
Thank you.
You must be so proud of your team and being here today. Do you want to say a little bit about the process of getting here? I know you're on the spot.
Maybe it would be nice if our team joined us.
Yes.
They're here today.
Are you here? Come on up. But while we do that, that's so
for the
nice.
moral support and physical support right now.
That's beautiful. Luke, get on over in the middle. Come on. Why don't you tell us, well, first of all, let's start with what does this win mean for you?
That was for me. Okay. No, it means, we started the brand around 3-4 years ago, and basically we've been working towards, making it better for the environment, everything that we do all the time, and I don't think necessarily that it often gets appreciated in the industry compared to the work you put into it. So, I mean, just to get a recognition for it is just amazing, I think, because it's a lot of challenges, a lot of extra work that I think people don't recognize. So, I mean, yeah, it means a lot, yeah, for sure.
Luke, tell us what's next. Don't be shy. Tell us about.
What's
okay,
next?
hang on a minute.
Next?
Tell us what just happened.
We
I want to know about the. Tell us about the heather that was part of your natural dye process.
The heather that we picked in Iceland and used to dye our Solomon collaboration. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I think what's next. I think we can just hope to continue to work with the amazing people that we've been fortunate enough to work with in the last 3 years since we started, and to continue to learn and continue to grow and continue to hopefully have an influence on the industry, the way that people work and think and approach things. Yeah.
Brilliant. Well, congratulations to an incredibly worthy winner, Ranra. And can we also say a huge congratulations to the other finalists, because everyone is a winner in a process like this, and let's give them a round of applause. We want to thank all of our finalists for being part of this and inspiring us in recent days, as we extend our huge congratulations to the winners, Luke and Arna from Ranra. And thank you for all coming back to share this with us at Copenhagen Fashion Week, and thank you to Copenhagen Fashion Week for once again putting on a seriously inspiring event and series of shows. We salute you, Cecilia, and your team. And thank you finally to the judges, to Arizona, to Dio, to Cecilia, to Emily. I'm getting all my names wrong, but that's fine. To Joanna, and now we're done. But I hope that you have been inspired by seeing the incredible work of all 3 finalists. And one more final round of applause for our incredible finalists, Ranra. take a bow. Amazing. Oh, I'm loud. Enjoy the champagne.